Okay, here we are for another Nintendo Direct. As per usual, I am doing this after the fact, so it airs at 3 p.m. I am still at work at 3 p.m. Annoyingly, my work ends at about 10 past 3. So yeah, very bad timing. I've got a couple of special guests. My dogs, who may be vocal at some point. Hopefully not, but we'll see. They might get excited by something. Nintendogs probably. I have actually made a bingo card for this direct. I do this sometimes, but this time I wanted to just flash it up on screen, just to show you what it's all about. You might be able to see there's some things there like a Luigi's Mansion 2 trailer, maybe things like Metroid Prime 4, things that we could expect, but a lot of this stuff I guess some would say sounds unrealistic. But I feel like unrealistic at this point is kind of the name of the game. If you think about what we got in the last 12 months, things like Super Mario RPG remake, Thousand Year Door remake, another Code remake. What else did we get? A sequel to uh, Endless Ocean. Um, and like even something like Everybody One Two Switch. Who would have ever predicted that we would have got a sequel to One Two Switch? You know, I mean, many people would say that we shouldn't have got a sequel to One Two Switch, but yeah. So I think that going for some stuff, predicting some stuff that you wouldn't expect, but still doesn't seem that far outside the realms of possibility, is the way to go. Because I mean, I'm not expecting all or most or frankly any of this to come true, but I am expecting to be surprised, basically, because you're always surprised. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So here we go.
Peggy 16.
Hmm. Right. Uh, is this a Mario and Luigi game? Because that is on my bingo card. If that is, hold on, what is it? It's got to be. It's got to be a Mario and Luigi game. It's got to be. Look at it. If that is though, this 12. Yeah, that is okay. It's not a remake, is it? No, it's okay. But this 12 months has been insane for Mario RPGs. Like the three most like. Oh, I'm buffering. Okay. The three biggest RPGs, yeah, that's definitely not a remake because I don't recognize that character. The three biggest RPGs that Mario has have all gotten either a remake or a new game, and that's insane if you think about it. And this was obviously going to happen at some point. Like it was, I wouldn't have considered it to be a particularly dead franchise. It was last generation that we got, new games in the franchise. Okay, this buffering is going to be very annoying. I mean, I'm not into RPGs. If I was going to play them, I would want to play older, old ones first. But it's good. It's cool that it's happening. It's cool that it's happening. What's it going to be called though? Because they have just called it Mario and Luigi at this point. I mean, it looks cool. Oh, and it'll be the first like fully 3D Mario and Luigi game. I like the look of it in terms of what's it called, Brothership. Okay, so that's I guess fairly generic, not in a bad way, but like there's not a specific theme like Dream Team or Paper Jam. So that's pretty cool. That was on my bingo list. I knew that there was a chance. I knew that there was a chance. There's always a chance or something like that. Okay, right. I say it was not a dead franchise. 9 years is a long time, but I always consider like whether a franchise is quote unquote dead based on the generations, because often they will do one per generation on a lot of games. You know, like, I mean, mostly goes to things like Mario Kart, but they might be moving stuff like this to one per generation. So, and that makes sense in a lot of ways, honestly. This is the World Championship. This is a cool idea, but I think it was like something like there's only 13 games that they're taking challenges from, and that was just a complete turn off for me. It's not a lot of games to be pulled from, especially considering how many Nintendo games, NES games there are. You know, I just feel like it's a lot of challenges, but it just doesn't feel substantial enough, or not substantial enough because it's a lot, but it's it doesn't feel like there's enough variety there with only 13 games. You know, cool that they're doing something like this. It's nice. It's quite unique, I guess. I mean, it's similar to NES Remix, but it's just a cool little thing, I guess, but not one that I'm gonna get. I don't think. Which is a shame because when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, absolutely, but I just wanted more, really, more different games. Like, put Mac Rider in there, you know, Duck Hunt. I mean, I know Duck Hunt's a bit difficult, but, you know, why not? The Mysterious Murasami Castle. Just add some really quirky, obscure ones. Urban Champion. But they just kind of go for the generic ones, I guess, or the ones that they usually use, which, not so into that. I do not know much about Fairy Tail, I'm gonna be honest. Don't particularly care much about it either. I'm sure that for those who like this, it's gonna be cool enough, but... yeah, not much to say about this one. It's just an RPG, and I'm not an RPG guy.
Work together with your teammates to take down powerful enemies. Fairy Tail 2 launches on Nintendo Switch this
I mean,
winter.
If you're into it, yeah.
Embark on a multi-dimensional journey. From Final Fantasy series creator Hironobu Sakaguchi and composer
It's an RPG, isn't it? Another RPG. I mean, I know that RPGs are popular, but
the world is slowly being robbed
only RPGs that I'm really into are things like Miitopia, Pokemon. Things that are either more casual, well, usually more casual, or just have a gimmick like Ring Fit Adventure. Like, that's cool. Just a cool little gimmick to it, you know? Or something like Undertale, I guess, counts as an RPG.
You can also send enemies you've encountered to
Things like that, sure, but otherwise, RPGs, not really for me.
The more enemies there are, the more you can wipe out in one shot.
See, I could have done so much better on my bingo list if I just said generic RPG. I mean, I'm not saying this is generic, but like, you know, just another RPG. We get a lot of those, and it makes sense, but I decided to go just for the first party stuff, you know, because I think that's where my main interest lies. So this kind of stuff, I knew that there'd be plenty of RPGs, but oh, that's an interesting. But okay. Okay. How long ago does this game come out? Like, how it's been like at least 2 years, surely. And now they're doing an update. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's cool that they're adding some value to it, but it's just a bit late, I guess.
Besides local play, you can team up with players worldwide in 2
Imagine if over the next year they just keep adding sports. Like, that would add value, but like, it's at a point where people don't care. I don't think it's a bad thing that they're doing this at all. I think it would be better if they'd done it earlier, but I don't think it's a bad thing to add more stuff to the game, you know? And the fact that they do all of this stuff as free updates, you know. Interesting. I have no idea what this is. Looks like it's a cool character design. What's the actual game? It looks similarly like it'll be like a platformer. That's a very platformer character design. Okay, yeah, definitely some sort of. Is that a platformer? I don't know, not really, but. Oh, this looks cool. Okay, yeah, definitely kind of platformer. Okay, that looks cool. I like that. So the great thing about Nintendo Directs is that there is always something that you've never heard of, that you wouldn't expect, but it looks cool. And this is, you know, that kind of thing. Mio, Memories in Orbit. Okay. I'll have to make a note of that one.
Leap into a new update for Disney Illusion Island.
Cartoon Classics.
Monarch's greatest detective is
Oh!
solving a mystery, and
Oh,
only
I love
Mickey
this
and
game.
friends
I
can help.
played
In a
it.
brand new adventure, Mystery and Monarch.
I played
Uncover
this
hidden
game a
evidence
few months ago,
scattered
and I
throughout the
absolutely
world,
loved it.
and use the dashboard to crack each case. What big secret lies at the end? Start sleuthing, because this free update launches
I mean, that's
on
cool. I don't know
Nintendo
if I'd
Switch
actually go back to the game for
today.
this if it's just. I mean, that's a cool thing to add, but
Island adventures
there's always
await.
already a lot of collectibles and stuff in this game, so it doesn't seem necessary to add another kind of collectible style thing, you know?
Then befriend
Hel-
Hello Kitty, Kuromi, and other familiar faces in this open world
Hello
adventure.
Kitty is
Team
certainly
up with
Hello
new
Kitty.
pals to solve mysteries and restore Friendship Island when Hello Kitty Island Adventure launches as a timed console exclusive on Nintendo Switch next year.
Oh, it's got Let's Go in it. Okay, right, I'm sold.
Let's get loony in this wacky sports game. Play
Is that
as
Space
Bugs
Jam?
Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and more across
Oh, what?
four
What?
arcade-style
Okay, it's just straight swap. I was gonna say, if it was just basketball and you don't brand it as Space Jam, that would be weird.
But watch out for falling anvils. Looney Tunes.
I
Wacky
mean,
World of Sports crashes onto Nintendo Switch.
will it be good
this
though?
summer.
That's the question.
That's
Because these
all,
kinds of
folks.
things can be very hit and miss. And the actual animation there is a bit,
New crewmate
bit
and
ropey, I guess,
imposter
but
roles are being added to Among Us.
Among Us.
Alert others when eliminated as a noise
Why is
maker.
this in the
Plant
cartoon
tracking
part?
devices on others as a tracker. Or turn invisible while taking out players as a phantom.
I haven't played Among Us for
Suss things out
years.
when this free update
I
for
used to,
Among Us
I played it a
sneaks
lot
onto
during
Nintendo
lockdown. It was
Switch
great playing with my
later
friends,
today.
but it's more difficult to justify playing it in,
Monster
you know,
Army is at your
outside
command.
lockdown when there's other stuff to do.
This is Felicidad,
Uh,
a realm of monsters.
Monster catching
Those who
game?
command and raise them are called Farmagia and play a vital role in the land's civilization. 10 of Farmagia must rise up against the oppressive.
See, I'm sure this is
to
going to be
stop his
good enough,
vicious
but like,
reign
I
in
look
the
at that
other
monster
world.
design, and I
Raise
talked about this in my
monsters and lead
Temtem
them into the
video,
fight against
and a little bit in my
Magus'
Palworld
army.
video,
Plant seeds, then cultivate.
but like,
and
the monster
harvest them
design
to
just
make your
doesn't,
buddies come to
like,
life.
obviously this is just a short selection, but it just doesn't
They
hit
can
the
then
same as
be
something like
trained
Pokemon.
for battle.
I'm not sure what it is. It just doesn't hit the same, I
Give
guess.
commands to your monsters and exploit enemy weaknesses in action-packed combat. Merge all
I know it's
battle buddies
unfair
into
to compare
parties
something like this to
call
Pokemon.
forth
Like,
a giant
every
fusion
single
sun
one of these,
and wreak havoc
you know,
with
monster
your
catching
foes.
games for Pokemon. But if I'm gonna, like, get into another monster catching game, I kind of, like,
Join the
it needs to have a
rebellion
reason
stop
for me
the
to
Magus in
play it instead of just
Farmagia,
playing a Pokemon
launching
game.
on Nintendo Switch
You know?
November 1st.
It's a farming simulator as well, so that hits so many different things, I guess. A Donkey Kong game? Oh, is this
Donkey Kong
Returns? It
Country
looks like
Returns,
Returns to me.
originally released on
Yeah,
Wii,
that's
is
Returns.
barreling onto Nintendo Switch in HD. The villainous Tiki
I said
Tantra
3D
has
Donkey
terrorized
Kong,
the
not
whole
this though.
wildlife and stolen Donkey Kong's precious banana horde.
See, at this point, you're gonna be.
Obstacles in the way?
It doesn't
Just
look
stomp
very
'em,
remastered.
pound 'em, and roll on through.
Which,
Each level is filled with
I mean, I've got
hunches,
this game on Wii. I haven't
dash
played it though. I
release
played
top
Tropical
bananas,
Freeze. I finished Tropical Freeze. I played it with my friends a lot
chromatic
when I was at
minecarts,
uni. But I wouldn't say Donkey Kong Country is
to
one of my
high-flying
favorite
rocket barrels.
in terms of platformers.
And
It's
even
it's
feature
great.
live
I
others
acknowledge that, but it's I wouldn't have particular interest in buying this, especially considering it doesn't look that much better than the. It doesn't look that much better than the Wii version in terms of graphics, and I have the Wii version, so if I really wanted to play it, I could.
Donkey Kong Country Returns.
But I'm sure this is going to be great, you know?
Nintendo Switch, January 16th.
ジャングルを所狭しと突き進むドンキーコングとディディコングの冒険が HD になって蘇ります。ドンキーコングのパワフルでワイルドなアクションをお楽しみに。続いてはこちらの映像をご覧ください。
See, it is interesting that almost every single Nintendo thing is going to be new. We haven't seen it before. I imagine someone knows what this is and is absolutely losing their mind at this point. Oh, it's a Dragon Quest game. Oh, okay. It's one of those 3D HD remakes, which... Or what is it called? 2D HD, or whatever it's called. Which is... the style is alright, but a bit overdone at this point, but you can forgive it, because it makes sense. If you're going to remake Dragon Quest, you might as well do it in this style, you know? I have no interest in RPGs, so I feel like I'm saying that quite a bit today.
An iconic RPG remade in HD 2D.
HD 2D, yeah. Which, I guess if it's becoming a style, that makes sense. Because it makes sense to, like, keep the sprites intact, I guess. That makes sense. But I think that because of the fact that it's a relatively new style, and there's just been a lot of games that use it, it feels a little bit oversaturated now. But as I say, there's not really a better way to remake a Dragon Quest game, or really any RPG, from that era. I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't done a HD 2D game yet. They could do that for something like Link to the Past. Oh, another Dragon Quest thing. Okay. This still means nothing to me. Oh, so it's going to be one and two. Why would you not just announce them? Okay, because they're different release dates, but still, just announce them all at the same time. Oh, please don't tell me they're going to go on the whole thing about this. Oh, so Dragon Quest 3 was already announced, and then 1 and 2. Oh, okay, so they weren't announced. Okay, that's cool. Oh, so if free comes first. Okay, that kind of makes sense, I guess. Okay, so they're not going to go on the whole thing about how the game works and everything like they sometimes do. That's good. I mean, cool announcement. Cool announcement.
Let's have some fun, Co.
A Funko Pop game.
Jaws?
Okay.
Wait, He-Man? Great Scott! Is that Marty McFly? The world of Funko is coming to life in this action-adventure mashup for the ages. Play with more than 60 characters.
It's just another crossover game. There's just so 60. That doesn't sound like a lot. I mean, considering how many Funko Pops there are, that feels like a pretty limited choice. I mean, I guess you have to consider, licensing and stuff, but it just doesn't feel particularly substantial, I guess? I don't know. But, it's just another crossover. Don't get me wrong, I love, Smash and stuff like that, and crossovers can be cool, but there's just so many of them these days, and they're just kind of losing their charm for me.
silly, and strategic games.
Spooky.
Ready for an adventure of ghoulish
Okay.
proportions?
Luigi's Mansion 2, yeah.
Summon your courage.
Getting just a small mention here, which is exactly what it needs. You know, we don't want to focus too much on it.
Tricky traps, and other supernatural shenanigans. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD launches on Nintendo Switch June 27th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. Meet the quirky little Dempa Man. Find him, catch him, and lead him on a joyful RPG adventure.
I remember this
Explore
game.
dungeons and battle monsters.
I remember this game coming out on 3DS,
Customize
I think
all
it
sorts
is.
of outfits. Decorate your island
And I
however
think I
you
always
like.
got it mixed up with Danganronpa because of the fact that the names begin with, like, I don't know.
New Dempa Man is free
Something about the
to play
names
and
just kind of
launches as
always
time
merged in my
exclusive on
mind.
Nintendo Switch, July 22nd. Strategize away
Okay, I
in this
mean,
tower defense
not.
installment of the Metal
I know
Slug
what it is
series.
really, Denverman, but
Take control of your forces
Metal
and
Slug.
pulverize
I
enemy
think I played a
strongholds.
Metal Slug game once, and that was
Choose from
about
over
my
300
extent, the
units
extent
with
of my
different
experience with it,
abilities.
and I
And build out
don't
your
have
tanks
much
to win
desire
tactical
to
tussles.
go any deeper than that.
You can
See
also
what it
slug
is.
it out with other players in online battles. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded storms onto Nintendo Switch.
I mean, so far
later
nothing has blown
today.
me away in this direct. So far nothing has blown me away, but I'm
Embark
not
on an
expecting anything
expedition
too
of the
because
damned in this
I'm not,
eagerly
like-
awaited sequel to the gothic roguelike RPG.
yeah, I have
Your
no
stagecoach
interest
can
in
set off
a
across
strategy
a decaying
game or
landscape
roguelike,
to
whatever it is.
prevent an apocalypse. Fight
But,
off nightmarish
like-
fiends in turn-based combat.
I'm not like thinking, oh, the Switch is coming to an end, so we're not going to get any big announcements. Yeah, there's going to be some big stuff here, but it's like not necessarily going to be for me because it's not going to be Smash, it's not going to be Mario Kart, it's not going to be 3D Mario. Rhythm Paradise would be a big thing for me. I'd love that, but other than that, I couldn't. Nah. Oh, okay. I do like seeing Switch Online games. Okay. I struggle to get into Zelda games, honestly, but it's cool that they're coming. It's cool that they're coming. But
Experience the remake of Samus's first adventure in Metroid
Zero Mission.
Plus,
See, I
coming
think
to
it
the
is
new
cool that they are
Nintendo
adding.
64
I know Zero Mission is
Switch
very
Online
different from the
mature
original.
collection of games.
Oh, mature.
Brave the dangerous lost land to stop the
Turok,
campaigns of
okay.
various schemes in Turok, Dinosaur Hunter.
I think though it's cool that they're adding different versions of the same game. I know that Zero Mission is very.
Infiltrate a corporation to end their alien
Perfect
conspiracy
Dark, okay.
in Perfect Dark. Now with
Okay.
online multiplayer.
Cool.
All 4 games will be available for Nintendo Switch.
So as I
Online
was
Plus
saying,
expansion pack
I think
members
it's cool
later
that
today.
they. What was I saying? Oh, they're adding like different versions of the same game. Like I know that's a very different game, but you've got things like the Super Mario Advance games or Link's Awakening. They're just adding all sorts of different versions of the same games, and I think that's just a really cool thing to
Join her
do,
on a journey
honestly.
to save her friend Ash.
RPG.
In this
Probably.
new installment in the Phantom
Seems to be.
Brave series.
I've not
Take on
heard of Phantom
tactical
Brave, so
turn-based battles,
that means nothing to me.
where you'll combine the phantoms you've befriended with objects in various ways. Combine
Oh, so it's like
phantoms
kind
with
of,
certain objects to maneuver them.
Breath of the Wild? Not Breath of the Wild, sorry, Tears of the
Combine with a
Kingdom.
cannon to attack a
But you
large
possess
area.
things with ghosts instead of combining things.
A fan to blow enemies
Which is cool,
around.
honestly.
Or
It's a cool-
combine with
it's a cool
Marona
concept.
herself for
Again, not
show-stopping
something I'm gonna
abilities
play.
that can turn the tide of battle. Phantom Brave, the Lost Hero, launches on Nintendo Switch next year. This one's gonna take you for a ride. 7 arcade games
Oh, is that
featuring
Street
Marvel
Fighter
and
2?
Capcom characters are fighting their way
No.
onto Nintendo Switch
Oh,
as
Marvel
one
vs.
collection.
Oh, okay, a lot of
Clash
games.
in
Okay.
X-Men versus Street Fighter. Duke it out in Marvel vs.
I mean,
Capcom
that's cool.
2, New Age of Heroes.
It's interesting that they don't do their own fighting game having remakes or remasters. I mean, I know you know that the day that they decide to release Melee on Switch or the next console, that's gonna be insane. Even if they did like 64 on the next console, that would like a lot of people would go absolutely insane for that.
Over to the museum to view artwork or listen to music from each game. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics launches on Nintendo Switch this year.
I mean, it's cool that a lot of old games get onto modern platforms now. I think it's a good precedent to set. Mario Party game, that was on my bingo list.
Mario Party series takes place on an enormous island resort. Get ready to jump into the
Will
biggest
it be
selection of
good?
Mario Party
That's the
minigames
question.
yet in Super Mario Party Jamboree. First, let's see some of the new boards where you'll compete to collect the most stars.
So they're definitely dropping
Take the escalators
number
to travel
titles.
between floors in Rainbow Galleria. Use in-game coins to get a star at half price when they're on flash.
See,
sale.
this looks cool.
But act
Like
fast.
some of these.
Ride around and stay on track.
Oh, Ninja's in this one.
Golem Raceway.
Ninja's making a. He's got to be in the next Mario
You can
Kart.
move up to
Whatever
4
characters.
spaces with a
I'm more
low
interested in
roll.
the characters. I'm gonna be
On
honest.
Goomba Lagoon, the ebb and flow of the tide can change your path.
Toad's playable.
And
Interesting.
things really get mixed up when the volcano blows its top. Along with 5 new game boards, 2 boards from previous Mario Party games make their return. Some mini games are action-packed challenges.
I mean, it seems like there's a
Trials,
fair few boards, which is a lot of people's complaint.
some are controlled
was
by
that there weren't
gently
enough.
shaking or tilting your Joy-Con
No
controller.
Rosalino, I don't think. Goomba's playable. Oh, okay, maybe I'm just not seeing Rosalino.
There's a wide
It would be
variety
interesting
to
if she's
enjoy.
missing though.
Also,
Spike is playable.
up to 20 players can go head-to-head online in the Coupathlon mode.
Oh, Rosalino's there. Okay.
Compete against your rivals
Monty Mole's there as
and
well.
for
Oh,
first
interesting.
place.
Very
Try your
interesting.
best to come out on top.
This looks pretty good, actually. I'm not the biggest Mario Party person, but this looks... I mean, my brother is, so he'll invariably get this and I'll get to try it.
Soon be underway when Super Mario Party Jamboree launches on Nintendo Switch October 17th.
This looks pretty good. Oh, wait, Super Mario Party Jamboree.
シリーズ完全新作
Huh.
スーパーマリオパーティー
So it's a sequel to Super Mario
新たなモー
Party.
ド新たなミニゲーム
That's
新たなオンライン遊
interesting.
びなどマリオパーティー史上最大級のボリュームの本作をお楽しみください
So is this gonna be a whole split in? Huh? Is this gonna be a whole split in the franchise now, in the series? Hmm. That's got some interesting implications. Oh, it's a 2D Zelda game. Oh, I didn't expect this. Is this? It's not a Is it a remake? It looks like it. It looks like Link to the Past. Wait, was that? I think I put that. No. Did I not? I said the Link Between Worlds remaster. I actually changed that last minute. But is this a sequel to Link's Awakening? If that was the case, that'd be cool. What is this? I don't know Zelda well enough to know if this is something that we already know about, you know? But another 2D Zelda is never a bad thing. But that doesn't look like Link to the Past. Oh, it's a Zelda! It's a Zelda game! Now that's cool! Oh, that is cool! Oh, that's gone wrong.
こんにちは。
Echoes of the Wilderness, I think that was.
シリーズプロデューサーの青沼です。
That's cool. That's
ご
cool.
覧いただいた映像はシリーズ最新作
I think it's awesome that they're doing that.
知恵の借り物です。いきなりリンクが消えて
Echoes of Wisdom,
一人にな
okay.
ってしまいましたが
That's
今回はゼル
cool.
ダ姫が主人公です。
Because people have been saying that they want a Zelda game for so
違う
long.
の
And that's just
思
so
われる方
cool.
もいるかもしれませんが、今作は見下ろし型ゼルダの当たり前を見直して新しい遊びに挑戦しました。映像を用意しましたので、こちらをご覧ください。
Stolen
The fact that this
away.
isn't the last
Across the
thing is
vast
actually
lands of Hyrule,
pretty cool, honestly.
Strange rifts have appeared and have taken many people, including Link.
See, they always have, they all, see, I don't get why people have been so,
Receives a
like,
mysterious staff called the Tri-Rod,
because, like, we've
and
got a new
sets
Mario
off
and
on a
Luigi
journey
game,
across Hyrule
we've
to
got a
save
new
the
Zelda
Dark
game. What else did we have?
By waving the Tri-Rod
I mean, we know
on the
we've got
table
a
she
couple of
found,
ports
Zelda
and
learned
stuff.
how to create an imitation of it called an echo.
There is some
Once you
good
learn
stuff
an echo
coming.
of something,
There is
you
some
can
good stuff coming.
recreate it whenever you'd like. Even if there's a wall blocking your path, you can create echoes of tables to get a leg up. Just like that. You can create wooden boxes, old beds, and unusual things like water blocks. How you use them separately or together is entirely up to you. Learn and create echoes of things you find while exploring Hyrule.
This, it looks
You
like a
might be
pretty cool
surprised at
game.
what you discover.
I mean, I might give this a go. Because that
Even
looks pretty
battles
cool.
will
I
look
think it's a
different.
cool gameplay
You
style.
can pick up and throw a rock echo, for example. That's not all, though. You can also create echoes of monsters. After doing so, they'll fight by your side. Monsters have different abilities.
That's
so
cool.
choose the one you want to create based on the situation. Wisdom is key, after all.
I can imagine some people might be upset about the fact that this is a 2D game rather than a 3D game featuring Zelda, but I think that this is perfect.
In a Hyrule
Because
without Link,
I think people have been wanting a new 2D game for a while, and people have been wanting a Zelda-focused game for a while. And this doesn't look like it's, like,
いかがでしたか？
taking... It's not the same... It's not the same combat system. It's got a gimmick. But that... Otherwise, it feels like... Very much like it's meant to be just a Zelda game. A Legend of Zelda game. And I think that's really cool that they're doing this. They're kind of hitting a lot of different things that what people wanted in one game. And that's cool.
そんなゲームに仕上がっています。ゼルダの伝説、知恵の借り物は9月26日発売です。またソフトと同日に特別デザインの任天堂スイッチ
That
ライ
is
ト
a
も発売します。
September the 26th. So that's not even
ゼルダ姫が
too long. That's
新しい遊びを
just over 3 months. See, I love the fact that they're not announcing things until very close to when they're actually going to be released. That's great that they're doing that, honestly. More headlines. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's not do this. The Just Dance again. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that Just Dance is a thing that exists and will always exist. I just don't care. It's what it is. Why do they have to... I mean, I know why they want to, you know, why they don't want to just update their games over time, because they can't sell the game over and over again, but still, it's just a bit ridiculous, isn't it? I don't know how this Just Dance Plus works. Like, are you able to get the games from this one? Well, the songs from this one in... I don't know. I don't care. This is a cool one. I'm interested in this. And it's just frustrating because I've been looking for a reason to buy a PS5, you know? I want to buy a PS5 at some point, but I have to know that there's enough games to be able to justify it. And so far, the only games are Astro's Playroom, Astrobot, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, because I don't have a PC. Other than that, there's no games that interest me. This would have been another one, and yet I can't justify buying a PS5 for a game like this, which I could just get on the Switch. This looks cool. I'm really interested in this. I just wish it was... It's weird. Even though it would make it more difficult for me to actually get it, I wish it was exclusive to PS5 so I could justify getting a PS5.
You don't have to explore this vast wilderness alone. Team up with familiar faces from the world of Horizon in 2-player local or online co-op. Lego Horizon.
I do like the fact that it seems more Lego Movie in terms of its animation. It's not as fluid with the character designs. That's a cat. Is it literally just a game about a cat?
Experience a decaying cyber city through the eyes of a cat separated from their family and friends. Explore alongside a drone known as
I mean, that's a
P12
pretty
to
cool
find
idea.
your way home. Carefully climb to the highest heights.
It's a cool idea.
New paths for yourself. And stealthily squeeze into tight spaces. Think like a cat to make your way through the city. Careful though, not everyone is excited to have you slinking around, including hordes of hostile creatures ready to swarm. Keep exploring to venture into more areas of this unfamiliar world and make your way back to safety.
I don't think this is something that I would
Stray finds its
buy
way
or
onto
play. Or,
Nintendo
I don't know.
Switch this winter.
I can see the appeal. I don't think it's something that appeals to
Welcome
me
home,
personally.
If you've ever wanted to live like a hobbit from the Lord of the Rings, now
I-
leisurely existence nestled away in
I
an
have not.
idyllic, quiet corner of Middle Earth can be yours. Customize your appearance, decorate your home.
I mean, great
and
for Lord of the
settle
Rings
into
fans,
life
but
in the
I
shelter. As you
am
newcomer
not
to the
a Lord of the
little
Rings
haven
fan,
Bywater,
so
you'll befriend your neighbors, work together to solve problems, and even share a meal. Or
I mean, it's
three.
basically Animal
Explore,
Crossing for hobbits,
garden,
isn't it?
Fish, forage, and cook.
Which is a cool idea. It
Best
makes
way to
sense,
build a
honestly.
Hobbit community is by hosting a dinner party with
See,
your
this is the
homemade
kind of,
dishes.
use of
Plus,
franchises that
you
I
can
think makes
trade with
sense.
your
An Animal
neighbors for
Crossing
unique
game based on
decorations
The
or
Hobbit,
special ingredients,
or based
or
on
even
Lord of the
taste their
Rings. Yeah,
meals.
that makes a lot of sense,
Friendly
honestly.
hobbits and familiar faces await your arrival when Tales of the Shire launches on Nintendo Switch this winter. Investigate, interrogate, checkmate.
I had seen a leak that Ace Attorney was going to
Ace
be in
Attorney
there.
spin-off games,
I had seen the leak.
including a sequel that was previously unreleased outside of Japan, are coming to Nintendo Switch as one
An
collection.
unreleased sequel.
As the
Huh.
prolific
Oh, outside of
prosecutor
Japan,
Miles
okay.
Edgeworth, take the case out of the courtroom
I need to
and
play
investigate
the
crime
original
scenes.
games,
Gather
honestly.
information by interviewing people and inspecting evidence. Then use the power of logic.
I mean,
to
I
solve
have,
challenging
I
cases.
have the Ace Attorney,
Get your
Attorney
all-new
trilogy
hand-drawn
on
character
Switch.
visuals from the original
I
series
just haven't
character designer,
finished it
or swap to the original
because I'm
sprites
bad
for
at
a more
finishing
classic
games.
look. Take a break from your investigation to explore the gallery, where you'll find character art, music, including orchestral arrangements, and more. Past and present collide as you uncover the truth at any cost. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection launches on Nintendo Switch September 6th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
Cool, but it is what it is. This does not look like I'm going to be interested in it. It still doesn't seem like I'm going to be into this. Even with the cool monsters. But, that's weird. In a good way.
After a devastating attack by unknown assailants, Takumi Samino's life gets turned upside down. A mysterious school mascot suddenly appears. While Takumi manages to get out of harm's way, he's then forced to enroll at the Last Defense Academy, along with 15 other students.
What kind of game is this, though?
Their mission
Or
is
is
to
it
defend the school from hostile student enemies for 100 days.
RPG? It looks like an RPG.
An academy
Oh, strategy game,
shrouded in
okay.
secrecy. And the unavoidable loss of allies. Can Takumi survive
Cool idea, I
this
guess.
100-day trial, colored by extreme and despair, and return to his normal life? The creators of Danganronpa present the 100-line Last Defense Academy, launching on Nintendo Switch
Okay, so
early
it's that.
next year.
Yeah, okay. Cool idea.
Embark
Not
on a
one I'm going to
saga
pick up.
spanning generations. A full remake of Romancing Saga 2 is marching
Yeah, I
onto
can already
Nintendo
tell I'm not going to be
Switch.
into this, but...
Rule and expand the Empire of Beren across multiple
There are so many
generations
remakes
while
these days.
challenging the
Again, as I
legendary
said,
7
I
heroes
like that.
who
I
have
like
turned
the
to
fact that we're
darkness.
getting so many classic games on modern consoles.
In combat, use
I think
returning
that
saga
it's only a
features
good
like
thing.
glimmers to learn skills, and formations to enhance abilities. Turn-based battles have also evolved into timeline battles, where the action order is key. Innovative features like United Attack can also help with strategy. How will you expand your empire? And in which order will you fight the 7 heroes?
I won't.
Every decision you make will dramatically alter the course of the story. Safeguard your empire's future and protect your legacy from peril.
RPGs must be insanely popular for them to there to be so many of them.
Romancing Saga 2: Revenge of the Seven launches on Nintendo Switch.
I guess
October
in Japan they're a massive deal as well, so that kind of explains part of it, I guess.
フルリメイクで蘇るロマンシングサガ2を
Okay, here it comes to the one last thing.
ここまで任天堂ダイレクトをご視聴いただきありがとうございます。次が最後の映像となります。
Metroid Prime 4. It's gotta be Metroid Prime 4. It's gotta be Metroid Prime 4. Like, let's be honest. If it's not now, it's not gonna be on Switch. That sounds like Metroid Prime. That sounds like Metroid Prime. I don't know. I don't know when. Yeah, that seems to be. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Is it gonna be Metroid Prime 4? Or is that Star Fox? No, it's Metroid Prime 4. So, I recently got very into Metroid Prime. I love Metroid Prime. Or is it 4, or is this going to be a remake of... I don't know, because I've not played anything past 1. This looks like they're setting up for it to be Metroid Prime 4, honestly. Which, yeah. But if they're not releasing... See, I don't know. I don't know if this is Metroid Prime 4 or if it's Metroid Prime 2 or 3. I don't know. Because I want to play 2 or 3 before I play 4. Or both, actually. But I want to play both. So part of me wants this to be Metroid Prime 2. But also, it would just be so good if it was Metroid Prime 4. Silex. Okay, so that is definitely Prime 4, I think, because I know that there was... Yes, there we are. See, I knew it was coming. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I knew it was going to be coming because there was no way it wasn't going to be. It's going to be good. Oh. Come on, please shadow drop the previous 2 games. 2025. Ooh. So that might be on the Switch too as well. I kind of doubt it though. I kind of doubt it.
大変長らくお待たせいたしましたが、ようやく新たな情報をお伝えすることが
Yes, it's been a very long time.
発売は2025
I'm very excited about this one.
もうしばらくお待ちいただくことになりますが、サムスアランの新たな戦いにぜひご期待ください。今回の任天堂ダイレクトは以上となります。
But
ご視聴ありがとうございます。
no No Prime 2 or 3. I mean, I guess they don't need to, but it would have been nice. Okay, so that was an interesting direct. The main things I remember are so obviously Metroid Prime 4, which that is probably my most excited thing from that direct. I think that is awesome, honestly. That they are finally releasing it. And I can imagine people are going absolutely insane for that. Obviously you had, what else was there? I had a few things on my bin. The Mario Party looks really good. Interesting that it's Super Mario Party. Interesting that it's Super Mario Party. A sequel to Super Mario Party. I was not expecting that. I expected that Super was just going to be its own, just one-off kind of, almost treated like a spin-off. But now it looks like it's going to be a series, which is weird, because are they going to have Super Mario Party and then Classic Mario Party as... I don't know how to feel about that, but it looks cool. I like the look of it, actually. And I'm not a massive Mario Party fan, but if I'm going to play a Mario Party game, that looks like the one I want to be playing. What else was there? Obviously, you had the Mario and Luigi game. Not something I'm interested in, but I think it's cool that that's coming. The Zelda game looks really cool, and I actually think that I think that is so cool that they're doing that. I think it's so cool that they're doing that. Because, you know, an actual Zelda themed game is that is something that a lot of people have wanted for a long time, and a completely new 2D Zelda game is another thing that a lot of people have wanted. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think those were the main things that I had a massive interest in. This for me wasn't a standout direct. I mean, the last two directs, it couldn't have been easy to get any more standout for me, considering Mario Kart was in them, and I was obsessed with Mario Kart at the time. But yeah, I think looking at my bingo list, I got a Metroid Prime 4 was going to be there. I got a Mario and Luigi game. I don't think anything else that I put there actually was there. Obviously, there was things that are similar. I said A Link Between Worlds remaster, which is a 2D Zelda, but we got a 2D Zelda, but not A Link Between Worlds. What else was there? Obviously, Luigi's Mansion 2 was shown. That was obvious, though. I don't think that anyone is getting any points for that one. 3D Donkey Kong, we didn't get a 3D Donkey Kong. We got a remaster, not remaster, well, yeah, it's a remaster of Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is a cool little thing in itself, but not that notable, I don't think. And I got a new Mario Party, so if you look at my bingo list, that top row, I mean, I said the Splatoon spin-off and Nintendogs. I mean, we didn't get those, but other than that, you know, I got 3 in the top row. That's something, I guess. So yeah, I think that was I can imagine that there are people who are much more into that direct than I am. And that's only natural because something else is playing. Hold on. Okay, please don't play. That's only natural that there's going to be some people who are much more into that direct than I was. But like, I think it was a solid direct. I think, you know, a new Zelda game, a new 2D Zelda game featuring Zelda, Metroid Prime 4 finally being announced, a new Mario and Luigi game, and then, you know, obviously things like Luigi's Mansion still on its way, Donkey Kong Country, yeah, a new Mario Party. There was some really solid stuff there, and I think that was not the most mind-blowing direct, but I think it was a pretty solid one, and ending on Metroid Prime 4 was, you know, great. It now kind of comes down to, do we think that Nintendo is gonna... Do we think that Nintendo is gonna release... like, are they gonna release Metroid Prime 4 on the next console? Is that potentially one of the reasons why it's been delayed so long? Because they wanted to get it for the new console as well. And a part of me is gonna say no. I don't think so. I think it will just be Switch. If only because Nintendo almost never does cross generational releases. Breath of the Wild, yes. Twilight Princess, yes. I can't think of a single other time that they've done it. They've only ever done it for 2 Zelda games. I don't know the situation behind Twilight Princess. I know for Breath of the Wild, it was because it was taking so long to develop. So you know, I guess that would be the reason there. But I don't. I mean, I guess though you could say that this could fall into a very similar category because Prime 4 has been in development, or we've known about it for 7 years, and restarting development I think was 5 years ago now. So maybe they have done the same thing, possibly. And I think Metroid Prime 4. I've always thought actually that Metroid Prime 4 is an absolute key or it could be an absolute key game for them because Metroid Prime is a first-person shooter. And first-person shooters are very popular. And you can imagine that Nintendo having a first-person shooter game like that, it could be a massive deal. It really could be. If they added a multiplayer mode, that would be it. So I think that Metroid Prime 4 could be the opportunity that Metroid has to get insanely popular. Not probably Breath of the Wild level, but I think it could have a similar effect. So actually, now that I think about it, that's a good reason that they might have it as a Switch 2 launch platform, launch game. They did say that they weren't going to be talking about games for the Switch 2, but there is a possibility that that's not. I mean, they also said that they were going to be focusing on games for 2024, the latter half of 2024, and Metroid Prime 4 is a 2025 game. So I'm actually, now I think about it, I'm kind of split. I think there's a possibility that it could be a cross-generational launch. I think there's a possibility. But if they don't announce that when the Switch 2 is actually announced, which will be at some point later this year, then it won't. It will be just on the Switch, which I think will be fine. Honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. But yeah, so that was the Nintendo Direct, and I think it was a pretty solid one. Honestly, not mind blowing. Ending on Metroid Prime 4, ending on Metroid Prime 4. That's pretty awesome. Other than that, though, it was relatively standard, I think, but I don't think that that's a bad thing. So, yeah, I think, yeah, I think it was pretty good. Nothing spectacular. That's all I have to say. So, goodbye.